We rocking, baby. We rocking. Let's go. On a Wednesday, baby. Wednesday morning. Get your breakfast ready. Get your coffee going. You're locked on. You're locked in. Hottest morning show. Best morning show in the game right here. Bama Vision. Yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, the Bama Standard Network. Happy to have you all in here. Welcome in. Talking season over. We're over with talking season. College football campaign a little bit over a month away. Bama taking on Florida State August 30th in Tallahassee, Florida. Ready to kick this thing off against the Seminoles. As always, people, you know what to do. You get in here. You hit the like button. You smash the like button. Hit that thumbs up right there for me. Hit that subscribe button as well. Like the channel. Be a part of the conversation we got going here on the Bama Standard Network, especially with yours truly at Bama Visions. We appreciate that. Super chats encouraged as well. Bring your super chats into the show. Also encouraged is getting that title towel. WhitwillSports.com. We got to have 100,000 of these waving, twirling, going strong on Saban Field inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. 100,000 of these strong in support of Kalen DeBoer and your Crimson Tide. Thomas Whitaker, Lavelle Wilson, two guys, love those dudes. The outstanding product. I'll stand behind it. WhitwillSports.com. You see it right there on the screen. Title towel. You go there right now. Use the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice little discount there, courtesy of your favorite Bama program, Bama Network, the Bama Standard. We're going to get to your comments. Save your questions to the end. We'll take all questions there at the end. But first and foremost, let's get some early comments here rolling into the show. We got my girl, Toya Billsley in here. Toya in here, Roll Tide, y'all. Appreciate you being here, Toya. We got my guy, Big Bill. Bill from New York with that $8 donation. Dropping it in here early. Appreciate you, Bill. Absolutely. Bill, Roll Tide, folks. Appreciate you, Bill, being a part of the show. Jimmy Clay, the baddest man out here. Jimmy Clay, Rockstar Jimmy, giving us that Roll Tide there. Appreciate you, Jimmy. My man, Big Bill writes, and Steven, great to hear your voice, brother. Hey, great to be here. Great to be here, Bill. Absolutely. Happy to have you in the show and happy to have Jimmy in the show also. You guys continue. Get your thoughts in. We're taking questions here at the end of the show. We're still working on having that at some point call-in show being back soon. So we're still working on that, but get your questions in, get your thoughts in. We got Jimmy Clay shouting out Bill here. So the love is being passed around. Kelsey is in here, my guy, Kelsey Shepard. Let's go. Roll Tide. Kelsey is in here being a part of the conversation. We got a great show, guys. We got a great show. We're talking offensive line. Caden Proctor said some things at SEC Media Days about a particular offensive lineman. Does this solidify Bama up front? We're going to talk about it. The national media, they're pumping up Texas and Penn State to play for the College Football Playoff National Championship. Is there validity to this? Is that legit? Why is Alabama flying so much under the radar? Should you as Bama fans be concerned? We'll talk about that. And then we'll get into my guy, Jam Miller. Is he up for a Josh Jacobs kind of year here for the Crimson Tide? Hey, we'll get into that as well. Jimmy Clay writes back in, that would be cool. Miss Uncle Charles. Oh, yeah. Look, I miss Uncle Charles too, man. Him and all of his nature stories there. So once we can get some things worked out here, logistics-wise, for a call-in show, definitely will let you, the fans, know. We got to have Uncle Charles and all of the great nature stories back in here because I definitely enjoyed those and missed those. But right now, people, we're going to transition into topic number one of the conversation. Once again, you guys get your thoughts in, get your questions in here on the show. Topic number one here, we're going to look at the offensive line for your Crimson Tide. And there's so much to be excited about when you look at this upcoming season. People are excited about Ryan Grubb being in here as the offensive coordinator, and you should be. Kalen DeBoer has his right-hand man again. Kalen DeBoer has a guy on offense that knows what he's doing. that knows how to scheme and plan and strategize and get the ball into the hands of the right guys, the playmakers on the field, and have that aggressive balance. So it's exciting to have Ryan Grubb. People are excited about Kane Womack, second year as a defensive coordinator. How can this 4-2-5 swarm be better? How can the run defense be better? How can the pass defense be better? Can Alabama be able to get back to closing on the quarterback and getting sacks? Can Alabama increase its volume of creating turnovers? There's a lot to be excited about defensively where Kane Womack is concerned. There are a lot of different pieces to get pumped up about, but offensively, everything starts with those dudes up front. Everything starts with the trench mafia. Everything starts with those guys on the offensive line. And it starts with this coach right here, Coach Cap. Coach Chris Kapovic, in his second year for Alabama, a guy that has been doing a fabulous job on the recruiting trail thus far. This recent class he's brought in, we're looking at Jackson Lloyd. We're looking at Mal Waldrop. We're looking at Michael Carroll. We're looking at Micah DeBoer. He brought in some heavy hitters on this offensive line for the 2025 venue. But the big thing Bama Nation is asking from him is do something that the previous position coaches did not do. I'm referring to Doug Marrone and Eric Wolford, and that's getting this offensive line to play at a high level, at an elite level, at a Joe Moore award-winning type level. Why? Because the last great offensive line coaches that you as Bama fans remember, you guys remember Joe Pendry and how big-time elite he was and structured he was with the offensive line. You guys remember Mario Cristobal and how good he was with the offensive line. Y'all remember Jeff Stoutland and how great he was with the offensive line. Y'all even remember Kyle Flood and how good he was with the offensive line. So since Kyle Flood, Alabama has not had that offensive line coach. Haven't had it. That they have not had it. So Chris Kapovic, it's on him to have this group play at a very high level. And I 100% believe he is going to have that done this season. Much of the reason why is what took place at Media Days on last week. And Caden Proctor was there, one of three players that accompanied Kalen DeBoer to Atlanta, Georgia, representing the offensive line. And Proctor mentioned one guy in particular, and that guy was Wilkin Formby. Proctor said, hey, man, that's my guy. Wilkin Formby, that's my dude. Love him to death. That's my guy. I'm proud of him. He gets it. He understands it. He's been putting in the work. Caden Proctor said everything, but, pencil him in as a starting right tackle. But everything he basically said gives you the vibe of pencil Wilkin Formby in as the starting right tackle. And Formby came in that 2023 class with Caden Proctor, with Olas Anganine, with Rock Montgomery, among others. Formby at 6'7", 322 pounds, a Tuscaloosa native, came through Northridge High School, former four-star prospect. This was one of the most technically sound tackles in the 2022 class. And Formby, last season had a good year. People like to take the South Florida game and go, oh my gosh, he was just horrible, awful, bad. But the South Florida game was his first game as a starter, y'all. So you're going to take your growing pains. You're going to take your lumps. You're going to take your bumps. But how do you develop from that? How do you mature? How do you get better? And the LSU game, Formby made some huge plays. He had some big blocks to spring those big runs from Jalen Milroe last season against the Tigers. Formby went on to improve from that South Florida game and really had a good year. This offseason, he's been working his tail off this offseason, whether it's training with private coaches, whether it's working more with David Ballou, the strength coach, whether it's getting with our Bama's nutrition staff. Formby's been putting in the effort. He's been putting in the work. And you really want this man to pop this year because I think he's the piece that really can solidify this offensive line, this offensive unit, because the guy can mow you down. Very good run blocker. Very good run blocker, Wilkin Formby. Good pass blocker as well, but very good run blocker. Can get his hands into you, can drive you off the football to open up this run game. So when I look at this offensive line, and especially if Formby Popshaw, we're looking at, from left to right here, we're looking at Caden Proctor, left tackle, Cam Dewberry, transfer from Texas A&M, is at left guard, Parker Brailsford at center, Jaden Roberts, who is squatting 900 pounds. It's insane. And this is Hulk Nation with Jaden Roberts. You got to feel like DJ Fluker, former Bama legend, had some say-so in that, in Jaden Roberts squatting 900 pounds. Want him to stay healthy because he's a beast also. And then Wilkin Formby at right tackle. You have that group of five, that is a Joe Moore Award 5, in my opinion. That's a Joe Moore Award-winning 5. Now, of course, you look at Formby is competing with Arkel Anguam, the transfer from Ball State. I think he's edged him out, though. I really think Formby's edged him out. I think that should be your 5. Your 5 should be Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilkin Formby. I think Formby's earned it. But just hearing Proctor talk about his guy at SEC Media Days was good. Pumped up Formby, built up Formby, all in on this brother, all in on the guy he came in with in the 2023 class. And Formby's got the size, got the ability, got the technique. The one thing I just want to see from him is consistency game in and game out. He had some issues there against South Florida last season, but we have to give him credit. He cleaned those up. Throughout the season, he got better and better and better. And his growth and improvement, think about this, guys. Formby's growth and improvement pushed Elijah Pritchett to transfer. Think about that for a minute. Because remember, the struggles Formby had against South Florida, people are like, where's the Pritchett guy? Where's Elijah Pritchett? You put him in there, Pritchett did a good job. But as Formby got better and better and better and improved, Pritchett like, well, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out now. So now Formby is your guy at that right tackle position, and I think Cam Dewberry is your guy at that left guard position. So this looks like the nasty offensive line you want to have if you're an Alabama fan. Now, Coach Cap has got to produce it. Coach Cap has got to pop the numbers. Coach Cap has got to guide this group to be a Joe Moore Award-winning group and have some All-Americans and have some first-team All-SEC guys come out of this group. But I think if from left to right, you're looking at Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, and Wilkin Formby, you got yourself a very solidified group, and really happy about what Proctor was saying when it comes down to Formby. He has improved. He has gotten better. He has gotten stronger. He's even more physical. And this dude, as a homegrown talent, he's ready. As a homegrown talent, he's prepared. As a homegrown talent, he's gelled with everybody on this offensive line. As a homegrown talent, he's ready to build off the improvement that he made last year after the South Florida game. So I think Alabama's offensive line will be better with Formby at right tackle. I think Alabama's offensive line will also be better year 2 under Coach Kaplick. He is prepared to do what Eric Wolford and Doug Marrone could not do, and that's have this group play at a very high level. But we're going to get to some more of your comments here on the show. Appreciate you guys writing in here on the network. We got Tough as Nails comes in. And guys, continue to get your comments in. We're taking questions at the end here. Tough as Nails writes in. Professional Football Focus, Pro Football Focus has Bama's offensive line ranked number 1. We will see in 2025. We'll see Toughest. We're going to see Tough as Nails. We're going to see. For one, I am not one for preseason stuff. I'm not one for preseason talk and preseason rankings. I, for one, let this stuff be handled on the field. I mean, it's cool for a talking point. It's cool for people like me who do media stuff to talk about this, but I want to see this take place on the field and have Bama's offensive line hit people in the mouth and run through people. Like, I want to see this happen on the field. But it is a good talking point, Tough as Nails. I agree with that. We got Carla Hinton in here. Stephen M. Roll Tide, 100 Roll Tide to you, Carla. Happy to have you in the show. Tough as Nails comes back with, I want Formby to blossom. He's homegrown. I want Formby to pop. Well, I want Formby to pop out too. I want Formby to have a good year. He is a homegrown talent. He's a great dude, great young man. And I want him to blossom on this offensive line because physically he has all the tools. 6'7", 322 pounds, very good run blocker. Came in as one of the top tackles in the 2023 class. So I want Formby to have big success here in the fall. Mr. B _205 writes, what's up, Mr. B? This will be Formby's year to show last season was just him getting used to the speed of college football. I agree. The South Florida game last year was his first time ever starting. You're going to have some bumps. You're going to have some hiccups. It's your first time starting in major college football, so he had to learn the speed. But like I said, as the season progressed, he got better. Go back and watch the Georgia game. He played well. Go back and watch the LSU game. He really played well. Go back and watch later games of that season, and you saw Formby grow in confidence. You saw Formby grow in swagger. You saw Formby grow in, I can do this. I can really do this. Tough as Nails writes back in, Cam Dewberry gives you that nasty, gotta have it. Dewberry to do. And I think Dewberry is going to be your left guard, right with Cam. He's going to be right next to Caden Proctor. Cam Dewberry will be your left guard. I really believe that. So, I mean, he brings that nasty. He brings that edginess. He brings that toughness. He brings that me versus you, I'm going to get you because you ain't going to get me. He brings that mentality. So I think Dewberry at that left guard spot right next to Caden Proctor. We got here Coach Warren writes in, awesome starting 5. That's my start. That's my starting 5. Hey, Coach Warren, I'm telling you, Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilkin Formby. You can't beat that. You can't, that would be my starting 5 right there. Mr. B _205. Dewberry and Roberts will be those big nasties we've seen we haven't seen in a few years. As long as Proctor doesn't get beat as much as he did last year, it's going to be scary. Dewberry and Roberts will handle the interior. Dewberry at left guard, Roberts at right guard. They'll handle the interior. And Parker Brailsford's an All-American center. The interior is fine. The exterior, I can mention 205. As long as Proctor has sound footwork and technique, as long as he has cleaned up the footwork and the technique and uptick, I'm fine with Proctor. He'll be okay. He'll be good. And right tackle with Formby, consistency. Build off what you did last year. Consistency. Grow with that. Build off what you did post South Florida game. So, and you'll be fine. Don Parker, my man, DP, the ever realist, not expecting Joe Moore level play out of this offensive line, but there should be a level of improvement, vast improvement from both lines on both sides of the ball, or this team will struggle. So Don Parker saying, not expecting Joe Moore award effort from this group, but he does expect improvement. I feel you on that one, Don Parker. Let's see. Tan writes back in, tough as nails. Cap has got to get these guys. Cap has got to get in these guys' heads and come out confident and be a unit that's known across the country. Coach Cap has to have these guys not just gel well, Tan, but he's got to have these guys playing mean, a full-on mean streak. from the snap of the football, every snap to the end. You got to play mean. You got to play mean. You got to be the aggressor. You got to be the aggressor up front. And that's what Coach Cap has to build within this group, aggressors up front. Mr. B_205. If this O-line does what I think they're capable of, we will have a 1,000-yard rusher. So my guy's saying, this offensive line performs the way it's capable of performing, Bama can have a 1,000-yard back here, a 1,000-yard rusher. I'm excited to see it. My guy DP comes back. DeBoer needs to understand that this is the SEC, and if you're not building offensive lines that are dominant at the line of scrimmage, as well as D lines that dominate, you are not winning championships. It starts up front, Don Parker. You're right. SEC football is grown man football. It starts in the trenches. It starts with your offensive line and your defensive line wearing down everybody else. And if you don't have that physicality every time, you are going to get beat up. You are going to get bruised. It's not going to work for you if you don't have that physicality every time. So that's a big deal. My God, Derek, giving us a $10 donation. Let's go. Derek is in here with the Road Town. Appreciate you, Derek, being a part of the show. My guy, Big Bill, writes in, I think that the running backs will have a better season this year. Defenses won't crowd the line as much while worrying about Milroe's great runs. I think, Bill, the running backs will have success. And I think another reason why the running backs will have success is you're going to have Ty Simpson that can really spread that ball around in the passing game. Milroe loved what he was as an athlete. Just incredible talent. But the one thing that Milroe lacked is just consistently getting the playmakers the football, especially when they needed it. And I think with Ty Simpson, you're going to see a vast improvement of guys getting that football then. Let's see, a DP writes in, my question regarding Proctor, long-term conditioning. I think Proctor conditioning, DP will be okay. I think my concern with Proctor is just the footwork and technique. Can he have his footwork and technique in order on a consistent basis, right? Because when Proctor shows great technique, when he shows firm technique, he doesn't get beat. Like, guys have a hard time getting around him when he shows the technique. But when he's slow with his speed and he's slow setting up, then guys are able to get around him. So my thing with Caden Proctor, have your technique, son, in order, have your footwork in order consistently. That's my main thing. Coach Warren writes in, on EA college football, the whole team is good, especially the offensive and defensive line, Ty Simpson, and the wide receiver. So Coach Warren say, hey, on the video game, the whole team going crazy. So I got to get me EA college football then. I got to get that. My man Big Bill said, hey, man, hit the like button. Y'all heard Big Bill? Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the conversation. Super chats welcomed also. I appreciate those. Don Parker, my questions regarding Proctor. Conditioning, can he anchor against the speed rush? And he has to have a mean streak too. Don Parker, I agree. So Don Parker's got conditioning for Proctor. Can he anchor, establish himself against the speed edge rushers? We're talking twitchy outside linebackers, twitchy defensive ends that can get to the quarterback, converting speed to power. And then you want to see Proctor play with a bit of that mean streak as well. Tough as Nails comes back with, question, is it easier to build a dominant offensive line or a dominant defensive line? Woo, damn, that's a good question there. We're going to take that one at the end. We're going to take that one at the end because I need some time to think on that. Big Bill writes and agree 100%. If Ty backs them off the line of scrimmage, oh yeah, this team is going to kill it, man, on the air and on the ground, Bill. If Ty Simpson puts this thing in the air and these receivers are out here getting it, then the ground game and the passing game are both going to be highly successful. Appreciate all of you guys being a part of the conversation. We got to see done. I want to see both sides play with that Damian Square mentality. Look, people will never forget that Damian Square video. Look, look, he got to see me. I'm going to choke him out from the snap to the whistle. That's the routine. It's Bama. That's what we do. They out there talking stuff. We ain't talking nothing. Scott Cocker in the background. They going to find out. Like, that Damian Square mentality was contagious, man. Damian Square wanted to take your soul from you every time he stepped foot on that field. And everybody defensively and offensively played with that aggression. When we take the field, we want to snatch your soul and put fear in your heart immediately. We wanted you to be mentally and emotionally defeated the moment you saw Alabama football. That's what Damian Square wanted to do right there. Absolutely. Let's see here. Tan writes in, we have to remember tight ends are part of the offensive line. Is Cuevas the man? Tight ends are an extension of the offensive line, Toughest Nails. You are correct. And Josh Cuevas is the guy. Josh Cuevas, who is now 258 pounds. He added 7 pounds in the offseason. So Josh Cuevas he's that guy. He's one of the guys right there. You've got Cuevas. You've got Marshall Pritchett. You've got Danny Lewis Jr. You've got quite a few tight ends here. But Cuevas is the number one guy there on the roster, Toughest Nails. I agree with you there. But as always, people, before we get to the next topic of conversation, you know what to do? Get yourself prepared for the Alabama football season in the coming fall. Start your winning mentality right now. How do you do it? By going to whitwillsports.com and getting you a title towel. Get you a towel. We got to have 100,000 of these waving, twirling, going absolutely crazy on Saban Field inside Bryant-Denny Stadium in support of Kalen DeBoer and your Crimson Tide. You go to whitwillsports.com, Thomas Whitaker, Lavelle Wilson, hit those two brothers up. They'll hook you up. Phenomenal people. Phenomenal people. You go to whitwillsports.com right now. Get you a title towel. Use the promo code STANDARD. Get yourself a nice little discount courtesy of your number one Bama network, the Bama Standard. But now we're going to hop into people. Topic number 2 of the conversation. This one, quite controversial, okay? So we finished talking season, right? We all know talking season ends after SEC Media Days because Media Days is the official kickoff to the college football season. Once Media Days gets here in mid-July, you as an Alabama fan, it's already programmed in your mind. Okay, I'm seeing Media Days on ESPN. I'm seeing Greg McElroy and Paul Feinbaum and all these people talking. Yep. And what does that mean? Oh, snap. We're a couple of weeks. We're a few weeks away from that ball kicking off, and it's the college football season. But in talking season, what do the national people have to talk about? Who is going to be in the college football playoff? Who is going to win the national championship? Which teams are going to make the run? And during the whole hustle and bustle of Media Days, there were 2 teams everybody kept talking about in terms of national championship, in terms of college football playoff. You even had people like Colin Cowherd, FS1, throw his thoughts in there. So, and for you, the Alabama fan, it's like, for some of you, it's like, why wasn't our team named? Why weren't we mentioned? What's going on with people when it comes down to Alabama? Are people just not looking at us? And I'll say this: if you're an Alabama fan and you're questioning why the Crimson Tide were not discussed among the national talking heads out there when you look at the college football playoff, pay that no attention. Let Alabama fly under the radar as much as possible and pick every team off one by one and show on the field, hey, this is a national championship team. Don't worry about the talking heads not bringing up Alabama. You let Alabama fly quietly under the radar and just pick everybody else apart. That is what you do. But the 2 teams that were discussed by the media when you talk about the college football playoff and playing for a national championship, the 2 teams that were discussed you had Texas and Penn State. Texas and Penn State. Everybody's got Texas in the SEC winning the conference championship and winning the national championship. There's this great love affair with Texas. Texas fans believe now it is our year. We have the right coach. We got Steve Sarkisian. We got Sarknado. We took him away from Alabama after the 2020 season. We brought him in here 2021. This is Sarknado's 5th year. We got the coach. We got the guy that can finally have Texas, the Longhorns, where oil runs wild, playing for a national championship. Now, Sarkisian's first 2 years at Texas, he went a combined 13-12. His last 2 years, he went a combined 25-5. So the last 2 years have been great to Sark. Last season, went 13-3, got to the college football playoff. Was a good year for Sark. And people expect, Texas fans expect, Sark's the guy. Sark's the guy. He's going to have us in. Sark's the guy. He's going to have us playing. He's going to have us in the national championship game. He's going to have us. But I think the bigger reason than Sark why these national talking heads are so high on Texas is this brother right here. The love affair with Arch Manning. Texas fans are like, he's the one. We thought it would be Colt McCoy. We thought it would be Tyrone Swoops. We thought it would be Quinn Ewers. We thought it would be Sam Ehlinger. We thought, but this is the one. Arch Manning. This is the one. Quarterback pedigree in his blood. He comes from a royal family of quarterbacks. Did I not mention his last name is Manning? Texas fans are putting everything on Arch Manning. And not saying Arch is not capable. He is very talented, very athletic, highly skilled. The last name says it all. Both of his uncles, Peyton and Eli, played in the SEC. Peyton at Tennessee, Eli at Ole Miss. They both got it done. They both went to the NFL. They were both Super Bowl champions, both Super Bowl MVPs. The great patriarch, Archie Manning, Grandpappy, played in the SEC at Ole Miss, got it done, played in the NFL for the New Orleans Saints, quarterback, royal family. But for Arch, this pressure hit different. Why? Peyton had pressure at Tennessee, but that ain't Texas pressure. Eli had pressure at Ole Miss. That ain't Texas pressure. Archie had pressure at Ole Miss. That ain't Texas pressure. Texas, everything bigger. From the belt buckles to the money to everything big in Texas. Everything. Because the resources make the pressure what it is. Like, can Arch handle this kind of pressure? That's the question. It's not about his talent, not about his skill set, not about his ability. Can he handle this kind of pressure? Because, Texas wins the national championship. Here goes a statue of Arch right next to Vince Young, the last quarterback that won you a title, Texas, back in 2005, the 2006 game. If Arch doesn't get you a title, then that Texas people, they turn on you. I'm just saying, like, pressure. Can Arch handle that? Texas has got talent coming back. You got Quintravion Wisner, 1,000-yard back, had 5 touchdowns last season. You got Matthew Golden back at wide receiver. You got DeAndre Moore back at wide receiver. You got some talented pieces, offense and defense. But this is the reason why Texas fans are so excited. Arch Manning, is he the one? We believe he's the one that can get us back to where Vince Young got us in 2005. A lot of pressure on Arch. Can he handle that? The second team that people are talking about, Penn State. Oh, James Franklin and Penn State is the second team. I mean, Penn State look like an SEC team. Penn State gonna play for a national. Penn State gonna win the national. Oh, Joe Pa. Oh, Joe Pa. The great Joe Pa Paterno in his grave. But man, Penn State, this is the team that's gonna play, possibly win national title with James Franklin. This is what the national talking here saying. Now, James Franklin has been the coach at Penn State since 2014, right? He's had 6 10-win seasons in 11 years. Last year, they went 13-3, got some wins there in the college football playoff. Now, Penn State, they got Drew Aller coming back at quarterback. It's not for Arch Manning. Drew Aller is being talked about potentially number 1 overall pick at quarterback, first-round pick at quarterback in next year's draft. Aller, over 3,000 yards passing the season ago, 3,327, 24 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, 6 rushing scores a season ago. Penn State's got 2 1,000-yard rushers, Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton. So, talent there at Penn State, but Penn State's schedule, you got to play Oregon. You got to play Dan Lanning. That's going to be a tough one. You got to go to the Horseshoe and play Ohio State, who won the national championship last year, and Ryan Day is confident right now. You got to play Ohio State. Then you got to go on the road and play Iowa, play Kirk Ferentz team. Iowa is a pesky team that always tends to give folks the business. They tough, they physical, they play hard, they play sound, and you got Iowa at Iowa. So this is going to be a very intriguing season for Penn State as well. But those are the 2 teams, Texas and Penn State, for the national championship. And Alabama flying under the radar. That's fine with me. I'm cool. I'm cool. If you're an Alabama fan, be cool with Alabama flying under the radar and just them getting their opportunity to pick off these teams one by one by one for me. One by one, and getting back to the college football playoff and winning a national championship. But Texas and Penn State are the 2 teams national media is talking about. But fans, let me get your thoughts on this. I mean, Texas and Penn State. I mean, you agreeing with this? Are you agreeing with the narrative that's being put out here? Texas and Penn State in the college football playoff competing, playing for a national championship. But anyway, we're going to get back to now some of your comments here. Appreciate you guys writing this in, giving your thoughts here on the show. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. We got my guys, Whitwell Sports. Get us a yes, sir. Whitwell Sports, baby, title towel. Get that title towel, baby. Get that right now. Don Parker writes in, hopefully the coaching staff picks the best 5 guys, but is brave enough to make changes if the young linemen don't perform well. DeBoer has to understand that seat can get frying hot this season. Hey, I'm just saying, get the right guys on the field, get the right group of 5, the right mixture of 5 in terms of the offensive line. We got that Roll Tide from Whitwell Sports. We got that 100,000 strong, baby, from Title Towel. Also, people smash that like button. Y'all see my guys, Title Towel, smash the like button. Absolutely. We'll get to questions here at the end. Appreciate Billy Williams, but we'll get to his question there at the end. Tevin Watson writes in, Texas won't win a championship this season. So Tevin is already saying it ain't going to happen this season for Texas. It ain't going to happen for Steve Sarkisian this season. It ain't going to happen for Arch Manning this season. So Tevin Watson's already saying, Texas, you're not going to get it this season. Billy Watson also writes in, I'm not buying Texas at all. So Tevin Watson's not buying Texas. Billy Williams is not buying Texas. Here's Don Parker. Bama should not be mentioned right now. It doesn't matter until we see who does what on game day. What matters is the one team that we are talking about after the championship game. Kill that noise. All right. Bama should be mentioned right now. And like I said, if you're an Alabama fan, be cool with flying under the radar. If you look at the history of Alabama football, Bama has been at its best when the team flies under the radar, shows itself to be dominant on the field, and picks everybody off one by one until the championship game. Absolutely. Let's see here. Billy Watson writes in, Sark is the new Lincoln Riley. Ooh, Steve Sarkisian, the new Lincoln Riley. Ooh, Billy Williams. Okay. We got Super J 22 writes in, I can see Texas before I can see Pretender State. Oh, called them Pretender State. Ooh-wee. Super J22, I can see Texas winning a national championship before I can see Pretender State. Tevin Watson writes in, Texas can't even beat Georgia. Now, Texas fans talk about a championship, LOL. Look, I'm just saying. I mean, media got Texas winning the SEC. Media got Texas playing for a national. Like this ultra love affair right now of Texas. Texas has been saying for years, we're back, we're relevant. I remember after a bowl game, Sam Ehlinger took the stage. We're back. They've been saying it for a long time now. And I haven't shown it yet. So now, with Arch Manning, it's we're about to show it now. We now have the quarterback to where we can show it. We about to see it. Billy Williams writes in, one thing lost in all the Arch talk is he's replacing a seasoned guy. It's going to be a media circus. Billy, you're correct. You're correct. I mean, Arch is replacing Quinn Ewers, a seasoned guy, and because of the last name Manning, it is going to be a media circus. Both of his uncles played football. Both of his uncles were phenomenal quarterbacks, NFL Hall of Famers. His granddad, phenomenal quarterback, NFL Hall of Famer. So his father, Cooper, played football in high school. And if it wasn't for a physical health condition, he would have played football in college too. So yes, it's a media circus right now with Arch. I would agree with that. Billy also writes in, he'll have pressure with 4 new starters on the offensive line. Arch is going to have 4 new starters up front. That's going to be pressure right there. Don Parker writes in, Bama shouldn't be mentioned because they need to prove they can still play to the standard week in and week out this season and not pay attention to the rat poison. Bama versus all y'all mentality. So Don Parker is giving us the mentality. Bama versus all y'all. Let's see here. Big Bill writes in, very good point there to Billy Williams. Ewers was a very good quarterback. Ewers was good. Ewers was talented. Was good. And Arch is replacing a seasoned guy. We're going to see how he does here. Tough as Nails writes in, Justice Haynes is the player I didn't like transferring. He was a next level back. I didn't like the Haynes transfer either, and that bothered me a little bit. But at the same time, I understand, want the best for him. But Bama's got a great roster of backs led by Jam Miller, which we'll get to him in a minute. You got Jam Miller, you got Richard Young, you got Dre Washington, the transfer from Louisiana. You have Daniel Hill, you have Kevin Riley, and you have A.K. Deere. So you got a great list. You got a good list of backs there in that room if you are the Crimson Tide. DP writes in, my concern isn't the Shorthorns or Pretender State. It's game 1 versus the Cinnamon Roll. So he's not concerned about Texas or Penn State. Don Parker said, my concern is week 1 against Florida State in Tallahassee, dealing with Gus Malzahn, Mike Norvell, and the Seminoles. I agree. The number one concern, taking care of Florida State first. Coach Warren writes in, is it more pressure being a Texas quarterback than the Alabama quarterback? I would say so, because of the fact that with the oil in Texas, the resources in Texas, the money in Texas, college football is really good when Texas is good. And Texas has just been crying. Where is our big-time quarterback? We had Vince Young. He took us to a national. We won with Vince Young. Colt McCoy was good, but didn't get us a national. Got hurt in the national title game. And then after Colt McCoy, Texas had this run of mediocre quarterbacks, average quarterbacks. Sam Ehlinger was decent, didn't get you a championship. And then you get to Quinn Ewers, talented, didn't get you a championship. So now the pressure is Arch. Your uncles played NFL football. They were Super Bowl champions. Your grandfather played in the NFL. Like, you got all the pedigree, bro. You the one. You the one that's supposed to take us to the promised land and cash in all of the poker chips. You the one, Arch. You it. That's how Texas feels right now. So, yes, there's more pressure there because Texas is riding a lot in here on Arch Manning. Billy Williams writes in, nobody's sleeping on our young guys. Jalen Hale and Cole Adams think they will contribute. Both of them will. Jalen Hale, him being back healthy, I'm so excited to see him back on the field healthy. Cole Adams as well, back on the field healthy. Both of those two will contribute. My man Bill says, look, hey, Bill says, look, man, Penn State, Penn State can kiss it, Bill says. Penn State can kiss it. He says they are chokers, boy. Hey, you gotta love the raw realness from my guy Bill. Gotta love the raw realness from Bill. Tough as Nails writes in, not Penn State, and Arch has to live up to his hype. So Tough as Nails says, I'm not buying Penn State, and Arch has to live up to the hype. That's what I've been saying about Arch. There's so much pressure. There's so much media circus. There's so much hype behind him. He's immensely talented. But much of the hype has to deal with the last name on his jersey and what his pedigree is, right? But can he live up to that and deliver the goods with the pressure mounted on him playing for Texas, right? It's a lot. It's a lot. Coach Warren writes in, I like when Bama is flying under the radar. Absolutely, Coach Warren. When Bama's under the radar, it's a good thing. My man Jimmy Clay writes in, let's beat Florida State. Hey, absolutely. Don Parker, Texas is back? What have they done lately? Don, that's my whole point. Like, Texas fans are always talking about, we're back, we're back. Texas quarterbacks, we're back. What have you done? What have you done in terms of winning a national? You haven't won one since the 2005 season. You haven't won a national since Keith Jackson was calling games on TV. Keith Jackson been long gone from calling games on TV, people. Texas, that's what I'm saying. It's been a long time for Texas. Coach Warren, Texas will be the SEC. Texas will be the SEC, strong, but not Nichildo. Champions, strong, and let's see, continue with Coach Warren's point. Continue with your point there, Coach Warren. Don Parker says, exactly, beat the cinnamon rolls for further up to Jimmy Clay. Let's go here. We're back with Coach Warren. Texas will be SEC strong, but not national championship strong. There we go. So Texas, Coach Warren says, Texas will be SEC strong, but not national championship strong, not national championship ready yet. Let's see here. We'll get to your question, Rodney, at the end. I appreciate that, though. Tan, Tough as Nails writes in, he ordered 2 title towels. Well, hey, 2 title towels coming for Tan right there. There you go, Whitwell Sports. Tan, getting those 2 title towels ordered. Don Parker writes in, hopefully this team learned from last season. Bama has to take care of Bama's business on the field and let the media talk. They can pick who they want or hype up who they want. Hit teams in the mouth. There you go, Don. Focus on the mission. The mission. Michael writes in, the Alabama offense will be wide open with a passing quarterback and a more experienced OC. Hey, Michael, I agree with that. Vince Young and Coach Mack are gone. Hey, Coach, look, Mack Brown and Vince Young they ain't there. They sure ain't there, Toughest Nails. They sure are not there. They are not there. Jimmy Clay, where's Ray? Look, Ray will be back, Jimmy. Ray is out there. Ray is out there on the lawnmower right now. He'll be back. Ray is out there, Jimmy, on the lawnmower, trying to cut that grass outside. So he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back in a moment. He'll be back in a moment there. He'll be back in a moment. But We got Whitwell Sports title towel responding to Tan. He did get those title towels. So Whitwell Sports is confirming. My guys at Title Towel are confirming that Tan did get those title towels there. Let's see. Tim Wiley writes in, roll tide roll, making my reservations for South Beach. There we go. So is that supposed to be what the national championship is, Tim? Is that supposed to be what the national championship is this year? I believe so. Don Parker writes in, I used to live in Texas, and they still saying, if Colt McCoy, they won't always say that, Don. They're going to always say, if Colt wouldn't have got hurt, we would have been up there holding that national championship. They're going to always say that. They're going to always say that. But we're going to transition now, guys. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Final topic of conversation. Before I do that, though, be sure to get you that title towel. Start the mentality of you, the winning mentality of you. As an Alabama fan, go to whitwellsports.com. whitwellsports.com. Thomas Whitaker, Lavelle Wilson, love those guys. Fantastic brothers. They got an incredible product that you can wave, twirl, yell, scream, have it in your pocket. We got to see 100,000 of these strong on Saban Field in Bryant-Denny going crazy in support of Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide. But you go to whitwellsports.com, use the promo code STANDARD, get your nice little discount courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standard. Also, people, hit the like button. Smash the like button. Give me a thumbs up right there. Hit that subscribe button. Be a part of your Bama channel as we're hitting you with the insight, hitting you with the information, hitting you with the fun and the entertainment as well. Super chats also welcomed here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, be a part of the show, be a part there of the conversation. Here we go. We're going to go to now, we're going to wrap this thing up with Jam Miller. And is Jam Miller due for a Josh Jacobs type of season? Is Jam Miller due for this? And I'm really excited for Jam because he is going to get the opportunity to do a lot in the upcoming fall, right? Jam, with having this offensive line, especially at the starting five across the board, is Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilkin Formby. He's going to have the maulers up front to open up running lanes for him to do work on the ground, but he's going to also have the quarterback in Ty Simpson that's going to get him the ball in the passing game. He's going to also have an offensive coordinator in Ryan Grubb who will scheme out so many different ways for Jam Miller to be effective in the passing game. So it's going to be a very good year here for Jam. And even though he's sharing the backfield with Richard Young, with Dre Washington, with Kevin Riley, with Daniel Hill, with AKD, it's going to be a great year for Jam. Jam last year, 145 carries, 668 yards, 7 touchdowns rushing, averaged nearly 5 yards a carry at 4.61, had 16 catches for 155 yards and a touchdown. Now, his numbers last season were very comparable to this guy right here, Josh Jacobs, former Alabama running back, now in the National Football League. And Josh Jacobs, who never was a traditional starter at Alabama, this guy shared the backfield with Najee Harris, with Brian Robinson, with Damian Harris. Josh Jacobs shared the backfield. And Josh, in 2018, that became his breakout season with Michael Locksley as the OC. Jacobs had 120 carries in 2018, 640 yards rushing, a team high 11 rushing touchdowns, averaged 5.3 yards per carry. He also had 20 catches for 247 yards that season, 3 touchdowns. He also took a kick return back for a touchdown. So that year, Jacobs had 15 touchdowns he was responsible for. If you break this down in terms of the running game, Jam Miller literally had 20 more carries than Josh Jacobs had in 2018. Jam Miller also had 28 more rushing yards than Josh Jacobs had during his 2018 year. Josh Jacobs only had 4 more rushing touchdowns than Jam, 11-7. So their numbers are comparable. They're similar. They are similar. I mean, they are similar. So, and even the receiving numbers, Josh Jacobs had 4 more catches in 2018. Josh had some more yards than Jam. Josh also had 2 more touchdown receptions, but their numbers are highly similar. You look at the difference. Josh Jacobs in 2018 had a much more fine-tuned offensive coordinator in Michael Locksley than what Jam had last year in Nick Sheridan. Nick Sheridan, now the quarterback coach. Now Jam has a real deal OC in Ryan Grubb. This is going to be interesting for Jam because what did Ryan Grubb mention this offseason? We're going to pound the football. We're going to be physical. We're in the SEC. Physicality wins this conference. We're going to run the football. We're going to be physical. We're going to be in your face. We're going to have aggressive balance. This is what Ryan Grubb said. So he is going to devise plays where Jam can get active in the run game, but he's also going to devise those check down throws for Jam, those wheel routes for Jam, those catches in the flat there for Jam, and allow the young man to make plays in space, right? Allow those guys, allow him to make the first guy miss in space and get up and down the field. Now, will they put Jam as a kickoff returner, as like they did with Josh Jacobs in 2018? That'll be interesting. I don't foresee it happening, but that'll be interesting. But I do think, just looking back at the numbers here and how similar Jam's 2024 season was to Josh Jacobs' 2018 season, I can see Jam having a year this season very similar to what Jacobs had in 2018. Remember, all Josh needed was that 1 year because the 2019 draft, he went first round. All he needed was 1 season. So I look at Jam, all he needs this year is to dominate, go off, and he's due for Josh Jacobs' season. He's going to have the offensive line. He's going to have the quarterback to give him the football. He's going to have the offensive coordinator to plan this stuff out for him in terms of the offensive scheme here, strategy. I'm excited for Jam. I'm pumped. And he's sharing a backfield much like Jacobs did. But I feel like even in sharing a backfield, Jam is going to get his. Jam Miller is going to get his, even with sharing a backfield. So this is going to be a very entertaining season to watch what this young man is going to be able to do here on the field. But people, I appreciate you guys being a part of the show today. We're going to get some more of your comments here and take some questions at the end. Let's see here. We got my man Don Parker with the $5 donation, dropping it in the super chats. Appreciate Don. Got a weird feeling that if Colt McCoy is gonna change to if Arch Manning, but can't hate on a good Texas brisket or steak roll top. He said he got a feeling that if Colt McCoy is gonna change to if Arch Manning, but you can't hate on a good Texas brisket or steak there. Michael writes in, I think Jam Miller will have a breakout season because the offense is more complete and teams will have to respect the passing game. I agree with that. Tevin Watson writes in, I see Jam having an 800-yard type of year and a top 10 draft pick. Hey, 800-yard type of year rushing, top 10 draft pick. There's Tevin Watson. Tough as nails writes in, Jam Miller is a good back, but in my opinion, a great back always makes the first guy miss. He doesn't have that talent. Hey, great backs definitely make the first guy miss. And Jam this offseason has been working on quickness, has been working on a lot of different things. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very, very interesting here when we watch Jam this season. But appreciate you guys for your thoughts here, for your comments here. We're going to go to a couple of questions right here in this Q&A segment. because it's time for you guys to have y'all moment here. So the Q&A, let's see here. We got our first question pulling up. Thoughts on the depth chart. Well, my thoughts on the depth chart, of course, for me, I would have Ty Simpson, the starting quarterback. My backup would be Keelan Russell. At running back, of course, Jam Miller, the starter. My 1B is Richard Young. And then right after him, I would go Daniel Hill. And after Daniel Hill, and everybody kind of get in where they fit in, so to speak. At wide receiver, I would play a 4 wide receiver look. But if I had to go 3, let's go Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton as the first 3. And if I have to throw a 4th one in there, give me Rico Scott. It could be Rico Scott. It could be Latzia Brooks, but give me Rico Scott as that 4th guy in there. At tight end, Josh Cuevas would be my starter. Everybody else kind of has to prove themselves. I like Danny Lewis Jr., want to see him kind of break out more, but Josh Cuevas is the starter. Offensive line, I've pretty much given you my 5 from Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilkin Formby. Defensively, on the line, let's go Tim Keenan, nose guard. Let's go the other D tackle, James Smith. Let's go Bandit, LT Overton, Keeley behind him. Let's go Wolf, Quay Rusall. Both of your linebackers, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson. Your DBs, Damani Jackson, Xavier Brown. You could go Dijon Lee as a boundary corner. Let's go this way. Let's go Damani Jackson. Dijon Lee is your boundary corners. Let's go Xavier Brown at nickel. 2 safeties. Let's go Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb. That would be my depth chart in a way. That would be my depth chart. That would be my starting depth chart if I had to do it like that. But appreciate my guy Tyler Tao for that question right there. Rodney writes in, and will the O-line be more balanced percentage run and pass? I think the O-line will be more balanced, Rodney, as far as the percentage run to pass. That'll be interesting on how Grubb does that. But I think the offensive line will be more balanced. Let's see. I think the offense will definitely be more balanced. Let's see here, Rod. You have another question here. My thoughts on the running back room, and can it put up good numbers with the O-line? I like the running back room led by Jam Miller. I think this group can put up some good numbers. Offensive line, though, it starts with them being physical, being nasty in the trenches, being dominant up front. But I think if they are physical, if they are nasty up front, then Bama can put up some good numbers here at the running back position. But appreciate you, Rodney, there for your question here. We are continuing with your thoughts here on the show. Question and answer segment. You guys get those in. Let's see if we got any more questions from you, the Alabama fans here. So far, I think that was the only 2. Wait, here we go. Big Bill writes in. Do you think the defense will back off the line of scrimmage and help the running backs? Bill, I think with Ty Simpson at quarterback, he's going to be able to keep defenses honest, right? With his ability to stretch the field vertically, I think that's going to keep a lot of defenses honest, and you're going to see the running backs be able to get up and down the field in the run game. But appreciate you, Bill, for your question. All of you guys for writing in, getting your thoughts in here. Let's see. Michael writes in, don't sleep on Richard Young. I'm not sleeping on Richard Young. Richard Young is my 1B. Richard Young is going to get playing time. Richard Young is like Bo Scarborough to me. The big bruiser back. That's Richard Young. He's got speed too. He's that big bruiser, power, hits you, and you don't want to tackle him once you get to the 3rd and 4th quarter. So I'm not sleeping on Richard Young at all. Let's see. Super J72. What improvements are you looking for from DeBoer in year 2? But number 1, being able to, even if Bama gets behind, be able to bounce back. That's an improvement I want to see. When Bama gets behind, be able to adjust quickly pull yourself back into ball games. And the number two thing I want to see improvement-wise from Kalen DeBoer would be if there is a player out there that's struggling, make the change quickly. If there is a player out there struggling tremendously, make the change quickly. So be able to adjust when you need to adjust, make those in-game adjustments. And if there is somebody struggling, make the change quickly. Melvin writes in, Melvin Weatherspoon, who do you think will be the specialist kickoff returner and punt returner? Punt returner, I would like it to be Jalen Mbakwe. I think Mbakwe would be great. I think Cole Adams would be good as well. But I like Mbakwe. Kick returner, give me Bach and Cole. No, kickoff returner, give me Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., kick returner. Give me Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. and Bubba Hampton. Yeah, give me Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. and Bubba Hampton returning kicks, and then returning punts. Give me Bach and Cole Adams. So those will be it there. But appreciate you, Melvin, for your thoughts right there. And appreciate all of you guys with your questions. It's been a rocking show, and you guys have made it a great one for me. Rodney comes in. Your assessment of this coaching staff. I like what this coaching staff is doing in recruiting. Absolutely. I think they've got continuity with each other. What I want to see, though, is on the field making in-game adjustments. If they're able to get out there on that field and make in-game adjustments, then that will tell me even more about this coaching staff. But that's what I want to see, the ability to go out there and make in-game adjustments. But as always, people, you can follow me, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, at Coaching M. Smith on X. That's at Coaching M. Smith right there. You can follow me every Wednesday right here on Bama Vision, 9 a.m. Central Time, right here on YouTube. Be a part of the conversation. Bama Standard Network. I appreciate you guys. You can also find me on BamaStandard.com, pushing out articles, getting stories done. Hit BamaStandard.com right there to get all of that insight on this team, on this program, and all of your Bama content. But also, we got a flavor for you for every day of the week. So if you're rock with Bama Vision, say I appreciate it. But if you want more flavors, the shows are right there at the bottom. We got the opening kick with Smoke Dixon, Daniel Petty. We got the Final Whistle show. We got Herb and Raj podcast. We got the Bama Standard show. We got the nightcap, George Teague's Take. We got college football chatter with Jonathan Lewis and Brinsky Sharp from the Sharpshooters podcast. We got Talking Bama. My guys, JB, JT, Herb. We got flavor for you. So check out the Bama Standard Network for shows every single day of the week, keeping you locked in to all of your Bama content. But till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. Be good, be blessed, and roll tide.